Welcome back, coin lovers and history explorers. Glowing Star. In today's video, we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1946 United States Wheat Penny, also known as a Liberty Penny, a small coin with a truly powerful legacy. Minted just after World War II, this penny carries the spirit of a nation rebuilding itself, filled with hope, freedom, and determination. From its stunning copper shine to its timeless design featuring Abraham Lincoln, every detail of this coin tells a story of strength, unity, and American pride. So sit back, relax, and let's uncover the hidden history, rare varieties, and incredible value behind this post-war classic, the 1946 Wheat Penny. Let's get the Sadar at top 5 first up. The year 1946 marked a time of rebirth and recovery for the United States. World War II had just ended the year before, and America was transitioning from wartime production to a new era of peace and prosperity. Among the many symbols of this transformation was the humble Lincoln Wheat Penny, a coin that had already become a cornerstone of American currency. The 1946 Wheat Penny, often called the Liberty Penny, stands as a small yet powerful reminder of that crucial moment in history when the nation sought to rebuild itself and honor the values of freedom and perseverance that defined its people. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series was first introduced in 1909 on the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin was the first U.S. cent to feature the portrait of a real person. The design was instantly iconic, showcasing Lincoln's noble profile on the obverse side, and a simple agricultural tribute on the reverse, with 2 wheat ears framing the denomination 1 cent. By 1946, this design had become deeply ingrained in American life, circulating through every pocket and representing hard work, unity, and hope. The 1946 Wheat Penny was minted at 3 locations across the country: Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. Together, these mints produced millions of coins, ensuring that the penny reached every corner of the nation. The Philadelphia Mint struck the largest number, as was typical for that period, while the San Francisco Mint produced fewer, making the 1946 SA a bit more collectible today. Despite their abundance, these coins carry immense historical and sentimental value due to their connection to America's post-war era. One of the defining aspects of the 1946 Wheat Penny is its composition. Like most cent of the era, it was made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it a reddish-brown tone that collectors admire. During the war years, 1943 specifically, pennies had been made of zinc-coated steel to conserve copper for military use. By 1946, the U.S. Mint had fully returned to using copper, symbolizing a return to normalcy and abundance after years of rationing and sacrifice. The obverse design of the 1946 penny displays the right-facing bust of Abraham Lincoln, with the inscriptions "In God We Trust" along the top rim, "Liberty" on the left, and the date 1946 on the right. This layout represents a balance between faith, freedom, and time, 3 themes that resonated deeply with Americans of that generation. Brenner's artistry captures Lincoln's dignity, wisdom, and compassion, which perfectly reflected the spirit of unity the country needed in the aftermath of war. The reverse side of the coin retains the wheat ears motif, which symbolizes agricultural prosperity and national growth. The 2 stalks of wheat curve gracefully around the edges, enclosing the denomination 1 cent and the legend United States of America. Above these words appears the motto E Pluribus Unum, meaning out of many one. This message was particularly meaningful in 1946, as the nation embraced diversity and cooperation in rebuilding both at home and abroad. In terms of mintages, the 1946 penny saw large-scale production. The Philadelphia Mint struck approximately 991 million coins. The Denver Mint produced around 315 million, and the San Francisco Mint contributed roughly 198 million. This high output ensured that the 1946 penny was common in circulation, but mint state examples, those that have never been used, are much rarer and hold significant value among collectors today. Many collectors seek out special errors or variations in 1946 wheat pennies. Some of the most notable include double die obverse or reverse errors, off-center strikes, and repunched mint marks, a special on the 1946 D. These rare varieties can greatly increase a coin's value, sometimes turning an ordinary penny into a prized treasure worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on its condition and rarity. The condition of the 1946 wheat penny plays a crucial role in its collectability. Circulated examples are generally worth only a few cents, but coins that have been well preserved in uncirculated mint state condition can command higher prices, especially those with full red luster. The bright copper tone, free from corrosion and marks, give these coins an almost glowing appearance, making them highly sought after by numismatists. From a historical standpoint, the 1946 wheat penny is more than just a coin. It's a symbol of post-war optimism. Each penny circulated to the hands of soldiers returning from battlefields, factory workers building America's future, and families experiencing the joy of peace after years of hardship. It represented the everyday resilience of ordinary Americans who were eager to rebuild their lives. Economically, 1946 was a transformative year. The U.S. government began investing in education, infrastructure, and housing through programs like the GI Bill. Coins like the 1946 penny became part of that new economic wave, exchanged in the daily commerce of a rebounding nation. Every cent contributed to shaping the post-war American dream, an era of opportunity, freedom, and prosperity. Collectors often refer to the 1946 wheat penny as a transition coin, bridging the wartime steel cents of 1943 and the modern Lincoln cents that would later lose the wheat reverse in 1959. It stands as a historical midpoint, linking the struggle and sacrifice of the war years with the promise of peace and innovation that defined the late 1940s and 1950s. Today, the 1946 wheat penny remains a favorite among both beginner and expert coin collectors. Its beauty, historical depth, and accessibility make it an excellent entry point into the world of numismatics. Whether found in an old family jar, inherited from a grandparent, or discovered in a coin show, it continues to fascinate those who appreciate history through metal. The symbolism of liberty on the 1946 penny is especially meaningful. After the horrors of war, liberty represented not just political freedom, but also the freedom to live, rebuild, and dream again. Each coin carried that message into the hands of millions of Americans, making the 1946 penny a small but powerful emblem of endurance and hope. Over time, the value of the 1946 wheat penny has grown, not because of rarity, but because of nostalgia and cultural importance. In pristine condition, it can fetch anywhere from a few dollars to several $100s for exceptional specimens. But for most collectors, its true worth lies in its story, a story of a nation healing, growing, and embracing the values that Lincoln himself stood for. Next up, the 1952 United States wheat penny, also known as the Lincoln wheat cent, stands as a small yet powerful symbol of American history, unity, and liberty. Minted during a post-war era of recovery and optimism, this coin reflects both the economic stability and patriotic spirit of the American people in the early 1950s. Its creation was part of the ongoing Lincoln Cent series, which began in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. By 1952, the wheat penny had already become an icon of American currency, loved for its timeless design and historical depth. The obverse side of the 1952 wheat penny proudly features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This design was revolutionary in 1909 as it marked the first time a real person, especially a U.S. president, appeared on a circulating American coin. The image of Lincoln represents not only the fight for freedom and equality, but also the enduring values of leadership and honesty. Above Lincoln's portrait is the motto, "In God We Trust," a declaration of the nation's faith and moral foundation. To the left is the word liberty, and to the right, the year 1952, forever marking its creation during a time of hope and rebuilding. The reverse side of the coin features two stylized wheat stalks curving along the sides, symbolizing the nation's agricultural prosperity and abundance. Between them stands a denomination 1 cent, with the words United States of America beneath it. At the top, the national motto, E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many one, reminds the holder of the unity that binds the diverse American states into a single nation. This wheat design, used from 1909 to 1958, have become one of the most beloved designs in U.S. coinage history. In 1952, the United States Mint produced wheat pennies at 3 facilities: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D; and San Francisco, S. The Philadelphia Mint struck approximately 186 million coins. The Denver Mint produced over 746 million, and the San Francisco Mint added around 137 million to circulation. These combined totals made 1952 one of the higher mintage years for wheat pennies, ensuring their wide use in everyday American commerce during that period. Despite their large mintage, 1952 wheat pennies carry historical importance beyond numbers. They were minted during the presidency of Harry S. Truman, at a time when the United States was leading the global effort for peace and rebuilding after World War II. The Korean War was ongoing, and America's economy was booming thanks to industrial expansion and post-war optimism. Thus, the 1952 penny represents both national pride and the promise of progress. The composition of the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny continued the standard introduced in 1909, 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This gave the coin its rich reddish-brown color, which often darkened over time into a chocolate or deep brown hue, depending on storage conditions. These copper coins, when freshly minted, gleamed with a warm metallic brilliance, symbolizing prosperity and durability. Their weight was about 3.11 grams, and the diameter measured 19 millimeters. Collectors today often look for the 1952 penny's condition, mint mark, and any striking errors. Uncirculated examples, especially those with a bright red luster, are highly prized. The most desirable among them are the 1952D and 1952S coins in pristine condition. Proof coins from Philadelphia, producer collectors, showcase extraordinary craftsmanship with mirror-like surfaces and sharp details, representing the artistic and technical excellence of the U.S. Mint. The 1952 wheat penny also carries symbolic value through its connection to American liberty. The inclusion of the word liberty beside Lincoln's profile is more than decorative. It represents the nation's founding principles: freedom, equality, and justice. Lincoln himself was the embodiment of liberty, having led the country through the Civil War and abolished slavery. Each 1952 penny thus serves as a daily reminder of the enduring struggle for freedom and human rights that defines the United States. Over time, many 1952 pennies developed distinctive toning, from deep brown to reddish hues, giving each coin its unique personality. Some even feature die variations, such as repunch mint marks or double die errors, making them particularly valuable to collectors. Such minting irregularities are like fingerprint of history, small imperfections that connect collectors directly to the machinery and human craftsmanship of the 1950s U.S. Mint. During the early 1950s, pennies like the 1952 wheat cent circulated widely in American households, used in daily life, buying newspapers, candy, or postage stamps. Children collected them in jars or coin folders, while adults often overlooked their beauty. Yet, these coins silently recorded the nation's everyday life, passing through millions of hands, telling the story of mid-century America, from farmers and factory workers to teachers and veterans. Economically, the 1952 penny reminds us of a simpler time when a single cent held real purchasing power. It was part of a system where coins were tangible symbols of value, not just digital figures. This small copper coin carried dignity and purpose, representing a hard-earned wage, a saved allowance, or a child's first coin collection. It embodied the American work ethic, that even the smallest contribution mattered. As decades passed, the wheat penny design was eventually replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Reverse in 1959, marking the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This transition ended the 50-year legacy of the wheat ears design, making all pre-1959 Lincoln cents, including the 1952 issue, a treasured piece of American numismatic history. For collectors, it marked the close of an era that linked modern America to its early 20th century values. Today, 1952 wheat pennies remain common in circulated condition, but are highly collectible in mint state. A typical circulated coin may only be worth a few cents, but uncirculated examples, especially those graded MS 65 red or higher, can fetch several dollars. Rare error coins like double dies or repunch mint marks can bring even higher premiums among serious collectors and investors. Beyond their market value, the 1952 wheat pennies hold deep sentimental worth. For many Americans, they represent a connection of family history. Coins once found in a grandparent's change jar or tucked away in an old drawer. They evoke nostalgia for an era defined by simplicity, honesty, and unity. To hold a 1952 penny is to touch a tangible piece of America's golden age. In conclusion, the 1952 United States wheat penny is not merely a coin. It is a miniature monument to Abraham Lincoln and the ideals of freedom, unity, and perseverance. Its design, composition, and historical context make it a lasting symbol of the American spirit. Whether kept in a collector's album or discovered in loose change, each 1952 penny tells a story of a nation's journey. From hardship to hope, from liberty to legacy, 1 cent at a time. If you love rare coins, historical facts, and the beauty of American currency, you're in the right place. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and bell icon so you never miss another journey into the past. Thank you so much for watching and supporting our channel. Your love for coins keeps history alive and shining. Stay tuned for more amazing stories of rare and valuable coins that could be hiding right in your pocket. Next up, the year 1953 marked an important period in United States coinage history, especially for the beloved Lincoln wheat penny. Struck in the Denver Mint and carrying the distinct D Mint mark, the 1953 D wheat penny represents a post-World War II era coin, capturing the resilience and progress of American society. As the country continued to rebuild and move toward a period of economic expansion, coins like the 1953 D penny became everyday symbols of hope, liberty, and productivity that defined the 1950s generation. The Lincoln Wheat Cent series, introduced in 1909, was designed by Victor David Brenner to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. The design featured a right-facing bust of Lincoln on the obverse and 2 wheat stalks surrounding the words 1 cent on the reverse, symbolizing prosperity and agriculture, the backbone of America's strength. The 1953 D wheat penny continued this iconic design, remaining true to Brenner's original artistic vision. By 1953, the Lincoln cent had already been in production for more than 4 decades, and the design had become a beloved part of American culture. The Denver Mint, located in Colorado, was one of the main production facilities for U.S. coins and was responsible for minting a large number of 1953 pennies. Over 700 million wheat pennies were struck at the Denver Mint that year, making it one of the highest mintages of the early 1950s. Despite its high production, the 1953 D penny still holds significant historical and collector value due to its age, design, and connection to America's post-war era. The composition of the 1953 D Lincoln wheat penny remained the same as most pre-1982 pennies, 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This copper-based alloy gave the coin its distinctive reddish-brown color, which would gradually tone into darker hues over time. Collectors often value these coins based on their color preservation, with 3 primary grades: red RD, red-brown RB, and brown BN. A bright, lustrous red 1953 D penny in mint condition is far rarer and more valuable than its darker counterparts. On the obverse side, the coin proudly displays Abraham Lincoln's detailed portrait, with the word liberty to the left and the year 1953 to the right. Beneath the date lies a small but significant D mint mark, identifying the coin's origin from the Denver Mint. Above Lincoln's head arches the timeless motto, "In God We Trust," a reflection of the moral and spiritual ideals that guided the nation during the 1950s. The reverse side of the 1953 D penny features the classic 2 wheat stalks, curved elegantly along the edges, framing the large 1 cent inscription in the center. Above the denomination is the phrase, "United States of America," while at the top rests the national motto, "E pluribus unum," meaning out of many one. This reverse design not only reflected America's agricultural heritage, but also embodied unity and shared purpose among citizens. The production of the 1953 D wheat penny occurred during a transitional economic phase for the United States. The country was entering a golden age of consumerism, driven by post-war prosperity. Pennies from this era circulated widely in daily commerce, from grocery stores to schools, and became an essential part of American life. For many citizens, the Lincoln cent was more than just a coin. It was a familiar reminder of national pride and economic stability. From a numismatic perspective, the 1953 D. Lincoln Wheat cent holds a special place among collectors due to its quality variations and die characteristics. Although most coins were struck in large numbers, a small number of errors and varieties were produced, including repunch mint marks, RPMs, die cracks, and off-center strikes. These error coins can be significantly more valuable than standard circulation strikes, especially when certified by professional grading services. One of the most sought-after varieties of this coin is the 1953 D/D repunch mint mark, where the letter D was stamped more than once during production. This variety can be identified with magnification and often draws attention from error coin specialists. Another collectible version is the BI die break, a small die crack appearing between the letters B and E in Liberty, forming what looks like the word BI. Such minor errors make each coin a unique piece of minting history. The Denver Mint had long been known for its efficiency and precision, but due to high production demands in the early 1950s, slight imperfections were inevitable. These imperfections now serve as fascinating windows into the minting process of the era. The craftsmanship of the 1953 D penny also reflected advancements in coinage technology, with improved dies and presses allowing for sharper, more detailed designs compared to earlier decades. When it comes to collector value, the 1953 D Wheat Penny in circulated condition usually holds modest worth, often just a few cents above face value. However, in uncirculated grades, MS65 or higher, its value can rise dramatically. Bright red examples with full luster can fetch $10 to $25 or more, while extremely rare and flawless specimens graded MS67 red by PCGS or NGC may be worth over $200 in today's coin market. Error varieties or unique toning patterns can increase that value even further. For numismatists, the 1953 D Wheat Penny serves as a reminder of the final years of the wheat reverse design. In 1959, just 6 years later, the wheat ears will be replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Reverse, marking a new chapter in U.S. coinage. Thus, the 1953 D penny represents one of the later issues of the beloved wheat series, bridging the classic design era with modern coinage innovation. Collectors often appreciate the 1953 D for its historical significance more than its rarity. It captures the story of a nation emerging into prosperity, guided by liberty and the enduring image of Abraham Lincoln. Every time one of these pennies surfaces in circulation or a collection, it evokes a sense of nostalgia, a tangible connection to the mid-century American experience when coins carried both practical and symbolic value. Many of these pennies still exist in coin jars, drawers, or old family collections across the United States. While they may appear ordinary, they are silent witnesses to decades of American life, passing through countless hands, telling stories of commerce, savings, and small transactions that collectively built the nation's economic backbone. For some collectors, finding a pristine 1953 D penny feels like uncovering a relic of living history. In conclusion, the 1953 D. Lincoln Wheat Penny is more than just copper and design. It is a reflection of American ideals, craftsmanship, and continuity. From its origin at the Denver Mint to its widespread circulation across a thriving post-war nation, the coin embodies the enduring spirit of liberty and progress. Whether preserved in a collector's album or discovered in change decades later, the 1953 D penny stands as a lasting tribute to the legacy of Abraham Lincoln and the timeless values he represented in American history. Next up, the 1955 D Lincoln Wheat Penny stands as one of the most fascinating coins in American numismatic history, a small copper artifact representing the strength of a nation still finding its post-war balance. Struck at the Denver Mint, this coin carries the D mint mark just below the date on the obverse side, symbolizing its origin from Colorado's proud minting facility. It forms part of the beloved Lincoln cent series that began in 1909, originally designed by Victor David Brenner to honor the great 16th President of the United States. Abraham Lincoln. The year 1955 was a significant one in the U.S. economy. America was experiencing the rise of modern industrial power, prosperity, and technological innovation. Amid this booming backdrop, millions of 1955 Wheat pennies rolled off the presses, destined to circulate to the hands of farmers, factory workers, and school children alike. These small copper coins represented more than just monetary value. They were symbols of national identity and liberty during an era of growth and optimism. The obverse of the 1955 Wheat penny features a familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, facing right, as a symbol of honesty, freedom, and leadership. The inscriptions include the word liberty to the left, representing the nation's founding ideal, and the motto, "In God We Trust," boldly arching above his head, reaffirming America's enduring faith. The date 1955 sits to the right of Lincoln's bust, with a small D mint mark below it, a simple yet powerful indicator of Denver's contribution to U.S. coinage. On the reverse side, the coin retains the classic wheat ears design that gives the coin its popular name, the Wheat Penny. Two stylized wheat stalks frame the central inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America, representing prosperity and unity. Above, the phrase E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, stands as a timeless testament to the unity of the American states and people. This simple yet elegant design captures the agricultural roots and democratic ideals of the nation. Composed primarily of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, the 1955 Wheat penny weighs about 3.11 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. The reddish-brown hue of newly struck examples would, over time, mellow into deeper shades of brown as the copper reacted with the environment. This transformation gives every surviving piece a unique patina, each coin telling its own silent story of circulation and time. The Denver Mint was responsible for producing a massive quantity of these coins. In 1955 alone, it struck more than 563 million wheat pennies bearing the D Mint mark. This abundance means that while most 1955 D pennies are considered common in circulated grades, high-quality uncirculated or mint-state examples are prized by collectors for their sharp details, bright luster, and historical charm. In contrast to its Philadelphia counterpart, which produced the famous 1955 double-die penny error, the Denver Mint's production that year was more stable and consistent. However, minor die varieties, repunched mint marks, and subtle die cracks can still be found among 1955 D issues, details that attract specialists who enjoy the intricate study of minting errors. Each tiny imperfection gives a glimpse into the mechanical and human process behind minting coins in the mid-20th century. The presence of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse of the coin is a tribute to his legacy as a unifier and emancipator. When Victor David Brenner first created the design in 1909, it marked the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. By 1955, the image had already become iconic, recognizable across generations, and regarded as a powerful symbol of freedom, sacrifice, and justice. The wheat ears on the reverse serve as a reminder of America's agricultural heritage, making the coin both historical and symbolic. Collectors often seek the 1955 Wheat penny as part of a complete Lincoln cent collection. It marks one of the final years of the wheat reverse design, as it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Reverse in 1959 to commemorate Lincoln's 150th birthday. Thus, the 1955 D holds an important transitional place in U.S. coinage history, belonging to the last golden years of the classic wheat design. From a value perspective, the 1955 D penny remains affordable for beginner collectors, but rewarding for those who find superb examples. Circulated pieces typically carry minimal premiums, often worth between 5 to 25 cents, but pristine mint state, MS65 or higher, examples with full red luster can command $10 to $30 or more, depending on the market. Extremely well-preserved coins graded by PCGS or NGC can reach even higher prices, especially those with exceptional eye appeal. Some 1955 D pennies show signs of minting anomalies that have become collectible in their own right. Repunched mint marks, RPM, are among the most common varieties, where the D was struck more than once in slightly different positions. These varieties offer a fascinating window into the minting process before modern technology refined precision to near perfection. For variety hunters, such errors make the 1955 D penny even more engaging. Historically, the Denver Mint played a crucial role in distributing coinage to the western and central parts of the United States. Its efficiency and massive output during the 1950s reflected the nation's expanding economy and the growing need for currency. Each coin minted there, including the 1955 D Wheat Penny, became a silent witness to everyday American life, from bustling city markets to small-town diners and farms. As decades passed, most 1955 D Wheat Pennies disappeared from circulation, replaced by newer Lincoln Memorial designs. Yet collectors and history enthusiasts have preserved these pieces as relics of mid-century America. Holding a 1955 D penny today is like holding a small time capsule from an age of progress, patriotism, and post-war optimism, an era when the United States was cementing its identity as a global leader. Beyond its metal composition or monetary worth, the 1955 D Wheat Penny embodies the spirit of the American dream. It reminds us that even the smallest objects, like a 1-cent coin, can carry immense historical and emotional value. For many collectors, it represents not just a numismatic treasure, but also a piece of living history, linking the present with the distant past. In conclusion, the 1955 D. Lincoln Wheat Penny is far more than just an ordinary coin. It tells the story of American craftsmanship, economic growth, and the enduring image of Abraham Lincoln as a symbol of liberty. Whether tucked away in a collector's album or discovered in an old family jar, this humble copper coin continues to echo the nation's journey, reminding us that every coin has a story, and every story has value beyond measure. Next up, the 1950 D Wheat Penny is one of the most recognized coins from the mid-20th century United States coinage era, symbolizing the enduring legacy of the Lincoln wheat cent design. Minted in Denver, Colorado, this coin carries a D mint mark just below the date on the obverse side. It represents a time when America was emerging from World War II into a new age of prosperity, with the Lincoln Wheat Penny standing as a reminder of national unity, hard work, and liberty. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series began in 1909, marking the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure instead of the symbolic liberty head used in earlier designs. By 1950, this design had already become a cherished part of American pocket change, serving as both a tribute to Lincoln and a symbol of the nation's democratic ideals. The obverse front of the 1950 D penny features the right-facing bust of Abraham Lincoln, with the inscription "In God We Trust" arching above his head, liberty to the left, and the date 1950 with a small D mint mark just below it. This detail identifies it as being struck at the Denver Mint, one of the 3 active mints at the time, along with Philadelphia and San Francisco. The coin's simple yet powerful design continues to reflect the nation's reverence for Lincoln's leadership and the principle of freedom for all. The reverse back of the 1950 D Wheat Penny displays 2 stylized stalks of wheat curving along the edges, symbolizing agricultural abundance and national strength. Between them are the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. Above them appears a phrase E pluribus unum, which translates to out of many one. This Latin motto reflects the unity of the American states, a sentiment that resonated deeply during the mid-century rebuilding period. The 1950 D penny was struck in bronze composition, consisting of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This traditional metal mix gave the coin its distinctive reddish-brown hue. However, over time, exposure to the elements often turned these pennies to a darker brown or even a deep chocolate color, which collectors refer to as toning. Coins that have retained their original red brilliance are considered the most desirable and command higher prices in the collector market. In total, the Denver Mint produced 334,950,000 Lincoln Wheat Pennies in 1950. This was a large mintage for its time, reflecting the growing economic activity of post-war America. The high number means that the coin is not particularly rare in circulation. However, well-preserved examples with sharp details, rich luster, and minimal work can still be valuable to numismatists. The 1950 D Wheat Penny falls within what collectors call the early modern Lincoln cent era, spanning from the mid-1940s to the early 1950s. During this period, the U.S. Mint was refining its coin production techniques, ensuring better consistency in design and strike quality. As a result, many 1950 D cents feature crisp details, particularly in Lincoln's hair and beard, which make them attractive to collectors focusing on eye appeal and condition. Although the 1950 D penny was a common coin in circulation, certain era varieties have made this issue quite interesting to collectors. Some examples display die cracks, off-center strikes, or double dies, where parts of the lettering or date appear double due to misalignment during minting. Such errors can dramatically increase the coin's value, depending on rarity and visual prominence. Another factor influencing the 1950 D penny's desirability is its condition, often graded on the Sheldon scale from 1 poor to 70 perfect mint state. A coin graded MS 65 or higher with full red luster can be worth many times more than its face value. Uncirculated specimens encapsulated by grading services such as PGS or NGC are especially sought after in the modern numismatic market. From a historical perspective, 1950 was a fascinating year in American life. The nation was entering a period of post-war optimism, technological advancement, and suburban growth. The Lincoln penny in every American's pocket served as a small, daily reminder of the values that built the country: freedom, labor, and faith in democracy. In this way, the 1950 D Wheat Penny isn't just a coin, it's a piece of living history from an age of transformation. The Denver Mint, where this coin was struck, had become one of the most efficient mints in the world by 1950. Established in 1906, it played a vital role in supplying coinage for the expanding western United States. The D Mint mark became a symbol of quality and consistency, with Denver minted coins known for their strong strikes and enduring durability in circulation. Over the decades, the 1950 D Wheat Penny transitioned from an everyday coin to a collectible item, especially after the wheat reverse design ended in 1958, replaced by the Lincoln Memorial reverse in 1959. This change marked the end of an era, turning all wheat pennies, including the 1950 D, into historical keepsakes of pre-modern America. Today, collectors appreciate the 1950 D Wheat Penny for its affordability, beauty, and historical charm. It serves as an excellent entry point for new numismatists who want to explore the Lincoln series without spending large sums. Even circulated examples carry sentimental value, representing a time when coins were crafted with artistic integrity and symbolic meaning. Values for the 1950 D Wheat Penny vary, depending on condition and rarity of variety. A circulated coin might be worth only a few cents, while a mint state example can range from $1 to $10 or more, and exceptional red tone pieces graded MS 67 or higher can fetch hundreds of dollars at auction. Error coins, especially those with striking anomalies, may sell for far greater amounts depending on collector demand. In conclusion, the 1950 D. Lincoln Wheat Penny stands as a powerful emblem of American history, resilience, and artistry. It links generations of Americans, from the early 20th century through today, through its timeless portrayal of Abraham Lincoln and its message of unity and liberty. Whether held as a collector's treasure or discovered in pocket change, the 1950 D. Wheat Penny continues to remind us of a proud legacy rooted in freedom, craftsmanship, and the enduring spirit of the United States of America.